Welcome to Old Cars Remembered. The 1950s and 1960s are remembered for beautiful cars, powerful engines, expanding highways, and the freedom of the open road. But behind the chrome and tail fins was a serious problem. Traffic crashes were taking an enormous toll across the United States. Historical data from the CDC shows just how serious the situation was. A National Center for Health Statistics study specifically examined motor vehicle accident deaths from 1950 through 1967, including differences by age, sex, geography, and miles driven. By 1960, motor vehicle crashes accounted for about 41% of all deaths from unintentional injuries in the United States. That gives us an idea of how important automobile safety had become as more Americans depended on cars. The problem wasn't simply the number of cars. The risk per mile traveled was also dramatically higher than today. According to the CDC, the motor vehicle death rate was approximately 18 deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled in 1925, compared with just 1.7 by 1997, a roughly 90% reduction. Much of that improvement came from decades of safety engineering, regulation, and public safety efforts. So what made crashes of the 1950s and 1960s so dangerous? Many cars lacked the safety systems we consider essential today. Seat belts were not yet required, airbags didn't exist, and modern crumple zones had not become standard. Vehicle interiors also contained hard surfaces around the driver and passengers. Cars were becoming faster, while highways were expanding rapidly. A mistake at high speed could have serious consequences, and tires, brakes, steering systems, and road infrastructure were still evolving. The 1960s became a turning point. Safety researchers, doctors, engineers, and government officials increasingly demanded changes. In 1966, the Highway Safety Act created the National Highway Safety Bureau, the organization that eventually became today's NHTSA. According to historical NHTSA data, the United States recorded 50,894 traffic fatalities in 1966, with a fatality rate of 5.5 deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled. Those numbers helped demonstrate that automotive safety needed to become a national priority. The result was a transformation. Seat belts became increasingly common, vehicle structures improved, and engineers developed better ways to protect occupants during collisions. Today, vintage cars from the 1950s and 1960s are admired for their design and history. But their crash record also tells an important story. Modern automotive safety wasn't created overnight. It was built through decades of research, regulation, engineering, and hard lessons from the past. The beautiful classic cars of that era represent automotive freedom, but their history also reminds us how much safer the journey has become. Enjoy the rest of the video and please do not forget to subscribe.